Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news now, guys. What if I told you that there's a major shakeup happening right now in the NFL? A move that could reverberate across the entire league, especially for the Bills. That's right. And it involves Dawson Knox, a player who's been an integral part of the Bills' offense, especially in the red zone. This isn't just some minor transaction. No, this is a blockbuster that has caught everyone's attention. Knox, who's been a Pro Bowl caliber tight end in 2023 and even made the top 50 ESPN rankings for 2025, is heading to the New Orleans Saints in a trade that shocked many around the league. The Saints are giving up a third-round pick in 2026, which might seem like a small price to pay for a player of Knox's caliber, but the implications are huge. Let's break it down. Dawson Knox, with his athleticism, size, standing 6'4", and reliable hands, has been a key red zone target for Josh Allen. His ability to create mismatches and make contested catches makes him invaluable in those critical moments of the game. Over his career, Knox has amassed around 200 receiving yards and scored 32 touchdowns with a yards per reception average of 12.6 and an overall PFF grade of 86.4, which is quite impressive. And if we look at his 2025 stats, up to October 19th, he's had 22 catches for 312 yards and 5 touchdowns. That includes a standout performance in Week 5 where he caught 6 passes for 82 yards, including a 45-yard seam route and 2 touchdowns, showcasing his explosiveness and ability to stretch defenses. But what makes Knox so dangerous, especially in the red zone, is his combination of athleticism and size. His 4.67 speed, comparable to some of the top tight ends like George Kittle, allows him to get open and contest catches with a 55% contested catch rate, ranking him among the top tight ends in the league. His yards after catch average of 6.8 yards is also among the top 15 at his position, demonstrating his ability to turn short catches into significant gains. However, he's also had his share of injuries, notably a wrist injury in Week 2 that caused him to miss 2 games. Despite that, his explosiveness when healthy makes him a red zone nightmare for defenses. Now, why are the Bills trading Knox? Well, the team has some pressing needs that go beyond just adding a talented tight end. Buffalo is facing some cap space constraints, especially with upcoming extensions for wide receivers like Waddle, who's projected to hit around $18 million annually. So, moving Knox helps free up about $9 million in cap space, which the Bills are using to elevate their second-year tight end, Dalton Kincaid, to a primary role. Kincaid, with a PFF grade of 84.1, has shown flashes of brilliance and is expected to become a major receiving threat for Buffalo. This move also signals a shift in their offensive strategy, leaning more on their young weapons and emphasizing the passing game's explosiveness. But there's more to this story. The Bills, as a team, have been somewhat cautious this season, especially on offense. Their passing game has been effective, but not as explosive as fans might hope. Their offensive line has faced some pressure, and the secondary, despite some injuries, has been holding up. Still, the team's focus on cap flexibility and their desire to develop Kincaid suggests they're planning for a future where their offensive core is youthful and dynamic, even if it means parting ways with a player like Knox, who's been a fan favorite. Switching gears to the Saints, this move is a clear statement of intent. The Saints, who are currently sitting at 2-4 and rebuilding after some tough seasons, are adding a player who can immediately create mismatches and boost their offensive output. Derek Carr, the quarterback with a solid QBR of 85.7, benefits immensely from having someone like Knox. His red zone efficiency is expected to rise, given Knox's knack for scoring those clutch touchdowns. This could be a game changer for New Orleans, especially considering their struggles in the red zone earlier in the season. And let's not forget the context of the Saints' overall strategy. They're trying to accelerate their rebuild, and adding Knox is a move to inject explosiveness into an offense that's been somewhat predictable and stagnant at times. With Chris Olave already establishing himself as a top-tier receiver, Knox's addition could elevate the entire passing game. Imagine the mismatches they can create. Knox's athleticism combined with Olave's route-running ability, plus Alvin Kamara's running prowess. That's a recipe for a more dynamic attack that can challenge defenses vertically and horizontally. Statistically, the impact of Knox on the Saints could be significant. Projected to reach around 800 yards in 2025, he's also expected to increase their EPA per pass by roughly 14%. His red zone touchdown rate could jump from 52% to an even higher percentage, and his yards per route run could see an uptick of about 17 yards versus their previous numbers. This move essentially transforms their offense into a more unpredictable and explosive unit. Plus, with the restructure of their cap, the Saints can comfortably fit Knox under their financial plan without sacrificing other key pieces. From a strategic perspective, the Saints are making a bold statement. They're not just rebuilding, they're rebuilding fast, moving from a team that's been on the fringes of playoff contention to a serious contender, especially with Derek Carr leading the charge, makes this move even smarter. It's reminiscent of the impact Mark Andrews had with the Ravens in 2022, providing a tight end who could be a reliable red zone target and a mismatch for defenses. Knox's athletic profile, with a 4.67 40-yard dash and his size, allows him to emulate some of the best in the league when it comes to creating separation and making contested catches. Now, looking at the bigger picture, this trade has the potential to shift the odds for both teams significantly. For the Saints, their Super Bowl chances get a real boost. Before this move, their odds of winning it all were around plus 12-0. Now those odds are down to approximately plus 500, reflecting the added offensive firepower and the overall strategic upgrade. This is a massive swing and suggests that the Saints are serious about competing this season. Their offense, already featuring Olave and Kamara, now has an added dimension with Knox, making them a much more balanced and dangerous team. For the Bills, the focus remains on building a high-powered, dynamic offense. While letting go of Knox might sting for some fans, especially those who appreciated his red zone prowess, the move underscores their commitment to developing young talent and maximizing cap space. Buffalo's offensive scheme, with Allen at the helm, thrives on explosive plays, and Kincaid's emergence fits perfectly into that mold. The Bills are betting on their young tight end to become the new focal point and to help them stay competitive in a tough AFC. Their defense, which has been solid but not spectacular, remains a key part of their championship aspirations. And let's not forget the context of the AFC East. The division is more competitive than ever. The Dolphins are firing on all cylinders. The Jets are still trying to find consistency with Aaron Rodgers possibly returning soon, and the Patriots are in a bit of a rebuild themselves. In that landscape, every move matters. Bills are making strategic moves to keep pace, and this trade for Knox is a part of that puzzle. It signals that they're willing to adapt, to reconfigure their roster, and to prioritize the long-term success over short-term sentiment. But back to the Saints, this is a statement move. They are showing that they're serious about contending now. With the addition of Knox, their offense gains a new dimension and their playoff odds improve significantly. This isn't just a move for this season, it's a signal of intent. The Saints are trying to re-establish themselves as a force in the NFC South and beyond. Their fans should be excited because this move could be the catalyst for a deep playoff run, especially if Carr and Knox develop good chemistry quickly. So, in summary, what does this all mean for the Bills? It's a calculated risk, no doubt. Moving on from Knox might upset some fans who loved his athleticism and red zone ability, but it's part of a larger plan to maximize their assets and create a more flexible, explosive offense. It also puts pressure on Kincaid to step up and fill that role as a primary target. For the Saints, it's about adding a proven playmaker who can change the game with his athleticism and red zone savvy. It's a move that could elevate their offense to new heights and make them a more formidable opponent in the NFC. And let's keep in mind that the NFL is all about these little strategic shifts, how teams adapt and evolve, how they leverage their cap space, draft picks, and player development. This trade for Knox is a prime example of that. It's a move driven by both immediate needs and long-term vision. It's about the Saints trying to accelerate their rebuild, aiming for a playoff push, and perhaps even a deep run in the postseason. Meanwhile, the Bills are setting up a new chapter, focusing on developing their young talent and staying competitive in a league where every detail counts. So, fans of the Bills, Saints, and the entire NFL, this is a story to watch closely. The ripple effects of this move will be felt across the league in the weeks to come. Keep an eye on how Knox adapts to his new team, how the Saints' offense evolves, and how the Bills respond with their strategic reshuffling. It's a fascinating time in the NFL, and I promise there's plenty more to come. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Buffalo Bills news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Buffalo Bills fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this trade? Do you think losing Knox will impact the Bills' offense in a negative way, or do you believe Kincaid is ready to step up to that role? How do you see the Bills' future with this new approach, focusing more on youth and explosiveness? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Bills. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more analysis, and the latest news from the NFL. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and as always, Go Bills.